Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Rotor Talk Live, Season 4, Episode 50. Second Best Drone of the Year award goes to boom. All right. Yeah, got a lot to talk about tonight. Episode 50. Here we are. I said the same thing last year. I was watching an episode from last year this time. Episode 50. Wow. Look over my shoulder, guys, on this side, okay? I got a 64 Chevy Impala lowrider, okay? And this thing you can raise it up individually on each wheels. There'll be a video coming out on Bill the RC Reviewer channel on it. That's going to get some traction. That's going to get taken care of. Want to start everything tonight by letting you guys know next week, okay, I'm going to be enjoying a certain 2-year-old and her parents who are going to be visiting us for the holidays. So next week is really my Christmas. Valerie and both of ours Christmas present is we get to spend time with our beautiful granddaughter and her mom and dad, of course. So definitely them as well. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So what I'm saying, you're going to be watching a rebroadcast. And what it is, it's going to be a rebroadcast of Season 3, Episode 50, where we kind of talked about the best mini drones last year. So stay tuned for that. That's a good beat. And you'll be very, surprised it kind of still holds a lot of relevance. Okay. So yeah, so that's where we're at. Want to welcome some people here tonight. Johnny Drone Flyer's in the house. Maddie is in the house. Drone Views Media. Michael Wright is in the house. Let's see. Leonard Oglesby, Billy Tompkins, Drone Views Media, Mike Rennick, Matt Bagwell, and Drone Shots. I think Lloyd was in here too. Okay. And place it here. Okay, like I said, we got a lot to talk about tonight. Hope everybody's doing well. I mean, what? It's December 7th. And I got to do this, all right? If you're a friend of mine on Facebook, you probably saw my timeline had a lot of Pearl Harbor remembrances today. And my dad was part of the greatest generation. He fought in World War II. He served aboard USS Lexington CV-16. Not the one that was sunk in the Battle of the Coral Sea, but its replacement. He served on there from 1943 through 1945. Aviation Ordnance Maintenance, first class. He received several commendations. His unit received a Presidential Unit Citation, which is very high. And one of the things that he always impressed upon me was to never, ever forget what happened at Pearl Harbor. 2,403 United States servicemen, women, and civilians lost their lives that day. And that's something that we should never, ever forget. And, the price of freedom is always high. It's a high price to pay, but we are free people here in the United States of America. And many thanks to the greatest generation. Okay. So let's have a quick moment of silence for all who passed on that day. Thank you all. Okay. Yeah, got a lot to talk about tonight. Marcus is going to join me halfway through. Ron will probably be there as well, too. And you think that at this point that there's not a lot to talk about. Well, the first thing I want to kind of talk about, and I didn't even have a banner for it, is I went out and I did some low light flying, some sunset flying with the Mavic 3 the other day, and I'm getting a video together on it. And I got to say this, I'm very impressed with it. It really did a great job, guys. I was very, very, very impressed on it. So yeah, I can't say more than that. You'll see the video. I was impressed with how the video came out. I shot it in 5.1K. I've no complaint. That 5.1K, I'm really kind of digging it. It's looking good. It does take up more memory, so you got to remember that when with the SD card that you're putting in. But I'm in the habit, and Rick's got me into the habit. Rick Smith's got me into the habit of swapping out those SD cards frequently. That way, in case a disaster happens, you haven't lost your shooting from earlier in the morning or earlier in the day or before that flight. So anyway, all right, it was good. Stay tuned for that. That's going to be coming up. I'm really enjoying the Mavic 3. And one of the things I want to start off with before we get into the agenda and everything for tonight is, there's been a lot of negativity about the Mavic 3, and I actually had a comment, okay, in one of my videos, and I'm not sure if it was the last one or not, but when are you going to say something, basically the comment was, and I'm paraphrasing, when are you going to say something negative about it? Basically calling me a DJI fanboy. Well, yeah, I'm a DJI fanboy. I'm an Autel fanboy. I'm a Fimi fanboy. I'm a Hubsan fanboy. I'm a fanboy of them all, okay? Until they prove me wrong, which Hubsan and Fimi did this year. So congratulations to both of them. But anyway, all right. Just, I haven't found anything wrong with the Mavic 3. It has been absolutely stellar for me. So, okay. All right. FAA's 12 days of drones, okay? And it's the 12 days of Christmas. It's the 12 days of drone. Now, again, remember, all these articles that I post from Drone DJ and Drone XL, they're out on Build a Drone Reviewer Facebook group and Facebook page, so you guys can go ahead and take a look at them. Bluegrass drone gone. Mavic 3 came today, got batteries charged, drone activated, registration done, FAA, ready to fly after update my drone insurance tomorrow. Good to hear, my friend. Awesome. That is great news. All right. Let's go ahead. I'm going to get this article up here. Okay. And again, this one was on Drone DJ. Let's go ahead and share the screen here. Okay. A new drone pilot, FAA's 12 days of drone safety campaign is for you. And, this is actually a good idea because there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be new to drones this holiday season. And I think this is perfect timing for the FAA to come out with something like this. Now, it talks about day one. What do I need to know? What do I need to know before I fly? Day two, register and mark your drone. Day three, test requirements for recreational flyers. The recreational UAS safety test trust. Day four, test requirements, part 107, remote pilot certificate. Day five, where can I fly? Day six, airspace restrictions. Day seven, airspace authorizations. Day eight, flying at night. Day nine, flying over people. Day 10, flying in weather conditions. Day 11, don't fly near wildfires, natural disasters, and police operations. And day 12, drone for good. Okay. The FAA has also released a new video reminding everyone of the rules and regulations that drone pilots must follow. Again, these articles are all posted on Build a Drone Reviewer Facebook group and Facebook page. So please go out there and take a look at them. And if you're gifting a drone for somebody or you've received a drone and you're new to the hobby, please look at this. This is an excellent resource. I can't say enough about this. Just want to call this out here to your attention. All right, let's go. What are we going to bring up here? Hang on a second here. All right. Well, the Mini had a firmware update, and everybody's been talking about the Mavic 3 and Mavic 3 this, Mavic 3 that. Well, Mini came out with a firmware update. And it's noteworthy in and of itself because they've come out with one. However, that's one of the things that I wanted to say is, not always, it's not always something that we need to know about, but in this instance, it really kind of, DJI Mavic Mini receives new firmware update. Okay. DJI has released new firmware update for the sub 250 gram Mavic Mini drone. The best bit about the aircraft remote controller firmware, only V01.00.0600, only that according to official description of the DJI's release notes, this firmware update optimizes the flight safety of your drone. That's it. Okay. Sometimes they're very lacking in description and in words, and this one is one of those. But it's one of those. I would go ahead and do this. Those of you who are new to drones, sit back, maybe wait a few days before you do it. But I don't think there's going to be any issues with this because it really doesn't look like there's a lot that's going on, if anything, other than just some little tweaks. So this is something you definitely want to pay attention to. And it's probably a good idea to, be on Drone XL or on Drone DJ, because they will post information out there about these firmware updates. And that's a good way. Also, look on Build a Drone in your Facebook group and page, and on my individual drone pages. Firmware updates get posted out there, and that information is out there, and that's important. This happens to be, an okay. It's not super critical, but you do need to get it done. And in case the next version comes out and we're having some major updates, you have to have this one in order to get that one done. So just kind of FYI here. Okay. All right. Mavic 3. It's just like it's a never-ending cycle on the Mavic 3. Did you guys watch Drone Nation last night? I feel like I'm short here. I think my camera, I'm going to adjust my camera a little bit. There. Okay. Felt like I was short there. I look short. This looks better. Okay. All right. I hope you guys watch Drone Nation. I hope you guys watch Drone Nation every week. But last night was a great show, and they did spend some time talking about a couple things about the Mavic 3. Now, the first thing that I wanted to talk about here, all right, and we're going to go ahead and pull this article up from Drone XL. Mavic 3 Fly More Combo will be available with DJI RC Pro. DJI Mavic 3 Fly More Combo will be available with DJI RC Pro. Basically, what they're saying is they said, oops, we've made a mistake. We should have offered this as a combo, all right? And why they haven't done this from the beginning, I don't know if it was done on purpose, if it was a marketing kind of a gimmick. But one of the things that I can tell you is that the RC Pro right here that you see, it's still back ordered, because I ordered mine on November 28th. And last I heard, I'll be getting it December 12th. Okay. So it is currently on back order. It's not like they have an overabundance of these, DJI RC Pros, and they're trying to sell them. No, that's not the case. There's a shortage of them right now. So it's just very curious timing why DJI is doing this right now. Okay. Now, it does say in the article here, in order to improve user experience, we decided to introduce the Mavic 3 Fly More Combo with the DJI RC Pro. It'll be available in China region from December 20 and North America and some European countries in Q1 2022, depending on demand. Okay. And it tells you what's coming in it. Pretty much, instead of getting the regular controller, you're getting the RC Pro instead. Now, in regions where it's sold, customers can choose between 4 different options, and it tells you all the different options available. Understand the customers in some regions have purchased DJI RC Pro separately before this new combo is introduced. In China region, with availability from December 20th, we will compensate those customers with DJI credit and coupons later. For more details of the program in other countries, please pay attention to our official communication channels. In other words, if you've bought the RC Pro already over in China, this is what they're saying, over in China, they're going to give you some DJI credit with this. All right, guys, this is just a very confusing kind of a move for me from DJI. I don't know about you guys, but this is really confusing me. And wow, DJI owes new Mavic 3 flight test monkey owners a free controller. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, I wish. Okay. But this is kind of puzzling because, price aside, everything aside, did they think it was going to be too costly when they bundled it together and didn't want to have sticker shock? I mean, look at the Cine, $49.99. Okay. That's sticker shock. All right. You're getting towards being able to buy a, albeit a bare bones, but a bare bones Inspire 2. So you're starting to approach some, you're halfway to 10K with something like that. I mean, that's talking pricey, and it's still, and this is really, we'll call it a prosumer drone. Okay, it's not totally consumer, it's not totally professional, it's between, it's prosumer. Okay. So why DJI did this, guys, I don't have an answer to this, okay? I just absolutely do not have an answer to this, guys. I'm kind of shaking my head on this one. I don't know. I absolutely, positively don't know. And again, is this a marketing kind of a thing that they're doing to get it more attention to the Mavic 3? Are they wanting to sell more of these RC Pros? I don't know. Okay. Are these RC Pros, are they going to do something about the compatibility issues that a lot of people have raised with these? Who knows? There's a lot more questions than answers at this point. But this is coming as part of this, but it's not going to be here till next year. So in other words, you have to do and see. I think I did it the smart way. I think you guys know I had the triple tech. I sent it back, and I ordered the DJI RC Pro. And what I'm doing in the meantime, however, okay, it's my good friend Mr. Stephen Ewing. I'm using my Galaxy Z Fold 3. All right. And let me tell you what, it is awesome. All right. It is absolutely awesome. I got a Mav mount for the controller, a brand new Mav mount, and this thing sits on there rock solid. Solid connection, no issues whatsoever. This thing is the bomb. It works great. The screen recorder works great on here. Zero complaints with this. But again, this is a $1,700 smartphone, so I don't want to be putting a $1,700 smartphone all the time and using it. It's an interim or an emergency. Yeah, this is fine, but it's nice to know that it works. Also, conversely, I found out my Galaxy S7 tab, my Samsung Galaxy tablet that I love, not compatible. It won't work. I tried to download a DJI Fly app. Nope, wouldn't download it. So that's where we're at with that. Maybe because DJI didn't have any RC Pro to include in Flymore kit, but what about us? The bot Flymore is right. Yeah, I'm hearing you, my friend. I really am. Yeah. I'm hoping that they come with some kind of compensation for this, because there's a lot of people that aren't real happy about this. I don't, it's just, again, I kind of scratch my head. I kind of, and doing a double take of this, because I'm not really sure what DJI was trying to accomplish here. Garner more interest in the RC Pro, garner more interest in the Mavic 3. Who knows? This world is upside down and inside out, and nobody can figure things out right now. And this is one of those things. I can't figure this out. I don't have a clue. And I know they talked about it ad nauseum last night on Drone Nation, but compensation will just be discounts and coupons to use in their website. You don't need to buy anything else. It's doing you no good. Matt, that's a great point. It really is. You have to use, see, and that's the whole thing. They want to catch you. They want to be able to say, well, we'll give you something, but you got to buy something in order to use it. Okay. And, that's one of those things for me. It's like, not real crazy about that. And, for me, okay. Now I've bought, since the accessories that I bought an extra battery. I've also bought I bought the RC Pro, of course. I also bought extra propellers from DJI. I bought them all from DJI. And one of the things, guys, I want to stop right here and say, if you're getting props for any drone, any DJI drone, get them from DJI, get them from the manufacturer. Don't go to the aftermarket ones, okay? I've had so many people get problems with these aftermarket props. So I always use OEM props all the time, okay? And the same with the batteries too. But that's a good point, Matt. Thank you for bringing that up. And I also got a charging base. I actually had some credit to use, and why not? I'm using that in the interim because I know I talked to Rick Smith, and he said they're in development. And by the way, if you want to find accessories for your drone at a great price and help support somebody, go over to Rick's website for Drone Valley. He has some awesome stuff. I bought a lanyard and eyelets for my DJI RC Pro. that's that's going to be invaluable for me when it comes, because I did the same thing when I had the original smart controller, and that works like a champ, being able to hang it around your neck. It's just absolutely perfect. So so yeah, that's it as far as this is concerned. Now there's another article that I came across today that I wanted to share with you guys, and let's go ahead and DJI Mavic 3 pros and cons. It was by somebody. He actually had to buy the drone himself. So let's go ahead. I'm going to get this article up here. Okay. DJI Mavic 3 drone review, torn between two opinions. And see, and I'm going to let you, I'm not going to cover all these things, but I do want to go over at the end. He talks about some pros and cons with this, and that's something that I kind of wanted to go over here. And again, I highly encourage you to go out on Drone XL and read the article when at your leisure here. He does talk about some specifics in here. And like I said, I want to get to these pros and cons here. That's he includes some pictures and some video here with this. Okay, now for pros, he lists the main camera produces high quality images, lengthy flight duration, reasonably quiet, all around obstacle detection. I agree with every one of those points, 100%. Okay, especially the quiet part. Normally, even with quiet props on, let's say the Phantom 4 Pro V2.0, probably about 300 to 250 feet, I could hear it coming. Okay, I don't hear the Mavic 3 until it's about 175 feet away. Okay, that's pretty quiet. The flight times I've got so far have been stellar. All right, and I've been real impressed with that. The obstacle avoidance has been working because I took off for the first time from my side yard. When I did I didn't fly over any occupied houses. I'm a good Part 107 pilot. I know my rules. And it was kicking at me and telling me about that. And the main camera produces high quality images. Absolutely. I took some stills as well this weekend too. The first pictures I've taken, and they were high quality. Agree with him 100%. Now let's go over these cons here. The zoom feature of the second camera is unusable for professional photography and videography. Agreed. And I don't think that was ever intended for professional videography or photography. I think that was intended to go ahead and get your drone centered on a good focal point. I don't, but again, the 7x zoom on that is awesome. The crispness, the details is fantastic. So in kind of in a way, I disagree with him. Again, as far as that's concerned. But yeah, I'll say that the DJI Fly app functionality and configuration choices are very limited. Well, you can't, the DJI Go 4 app is legacy at this point. All right. It still services the Mavic, the Mavic 2. It still services the Phantom 4 Pro V2.0 and some other drones in DJI's lineup, and it's done well. Now, it had an extensive menu system in it, okay? And conversely, with this point here, I want to answer this because I know he talks about it in the article, and one of the things that I wanted to say here is with the Fly app doesn't have the deep menus that the Go 4 app has, and that's a plus because you can find things very easily on the Fly app that were buried in 2 or 3 menus down in the Go 4 app. So that's kudos to DJI. They've done it. They've made it more user-friendly. So I kind of disagree with that point as well. Horizon sometimes slews. Well, I have heard instances of that. Some people have taken their drones back and got replacement drones because of that. And I've heard that is an issue. No aperture dial on the DJI Pro remote controller. Yeah, I have heard that as well. And I heard, and that's a valid concern. I agree with that. And maybe a firmware update can take care of that. I don't know. The controller is quite simply useless unless you buy the Cine edition. Okay. Well, I'm not 100% sure what he means by that comment, but probably the RC Pro. I don't know. There is no CX label, and that's for over in Europe. You can read the article about that. So, kind of some of his cons I kind of disagree with on here. The Fly app especially, I disagree with. I think with that, it does have a lot of functionality. There hasn't. Okay, it's missing some things, and that's something we knew going into this. Right before the release, we knew that Active Track wasn't going to be there. We knew that APAS wasn't going to be on there. And some other things. We knew they weren't going to be on there until January 2022. And it's okay because we're still able to fly. We're still able to shoot some great video and take great pictures. So, be patient. I'm looking forward to hyperlapse. I really enjoy that. Would have been wonderful for these sunsets that we had, but that's coming, and you'll be rewarded for your patience for something like this. So that's one of the things that I wanted to talk about with this article, and I think a lot of people here, one of the things that I wanted to say here. Oh, Jaybird is in the house. Welcome, Jaybird, and Ray Kelly. Welcome, Ray. Good to see you tonight. One of the things that really surprised me, and I got to say this in a great way. Now, I've had some people come out and say, Bill, you never really push your drones, to the outer edge of the envelope. And Bill, you should take some more chances, be a little risky, have some fun, that kind of thing. All right. Well, I've had a couple of people leave some comments for me, albeit they were trying to be nice, but you shouldn't let your battery get below 20%. You're going to shorten the life of your battery, and that's not good for your battery to get it below 10%. And I want to thank these people for that and for leaving these comments. But they probably are new subscribers to the channel, and I want to let everybody know I don't do that as a normal habit, okay? When I'm doing battery tests like that, yes, I will do that. But at 10%, if I get down to 10%, I'm at 20%, I'm coming home, okay? When I'm doing flying for other testing, 20%, I'm coming home. I'm not even down anywhere near 10%. So, this is why, you saw the near disaster was because I was pushing the outer edge of the envelope with that because I was doing a battery test, and it was in a very recoverable area. So that worked out real well. And, again, it also pays. And here's another comment that I've gotten. And I know all of you get this who have drone channels, oh, do you fly anywhere else? Can you fly somewhere else? And I'm like, okay, all right. Let me answer you. And this is how I answered people. All right. I have this thing called a job between 9 and 5. All right. And at 5 o'clock, in case you haven't looked, it's dark outside. You can't fly. So Monday through Friday, basically, I can't fly. All right. I can only fly on Saturdays and Sundays. Well, Saturdays and Sundays, we just don't sit around out on the lanai and sipping a cold beverage. No, we have these things called housework to do. And, we also have to, do other things like, laundry. That's a dirty word. And run errands, get prescriptions, go grocery shopping, all those kind of things. So I have to manage my time. Where I fly, it's less than 5 minutes from my house. It's very convenient. It's very easy. And it's a great place to fly. All right. I'm not flying over anybody's house right there. All part legal, part 107. So it works out real well. So I just kind of wanted to give you guys some background about all that. Okay. All right. And it never fails me here with Thank you, Matt. Appreciate that. You know, and now I'll go to another location. I'll fly there a couple of times. You fly there all the time. What are you flying all the time for? I have another location. It's probably about less than 10 minutes away from me. Hey, Marcus. How are you,
Master Bill?
I was just lamenting about the fact, and I'm sure you get these too, okay? Somebody left in my comments, good-hearted, and it was done nicely. Have you considered flying somewhere else for your tests? And I said, well, there's this thing called, 9 to 5. And now at 5 o'clock now, it's kind of pitch black outside. So that kind of leaves only Saturday and Sunday for me to fly. And well, Saturday and Sunday, we also do these things called run errands and chores and laundry and all that kind of good stuff. So I'll fit my flights in on the weekends. Oh, okay. That kind of thing. I'm sure, I know you get it. I know people have said to you about it. So it's
I had a comment today, Bill, a guy that literally basically said that I was unprepared, didn't know what I was talking about, on and on. A big, long, very thoughtful comment, basically telling me that I shouldn't be making drone videos because I didn't know anything about them. And so I thought, well, I need to investigate here. So I looked at his channel. His most popular video had 9 views on it. And so I felt like going back and answering him and saying, well, listen, I wish I could have a channel as popular as yours with 19 subscribers and 9 views on your biggest video. But no, I didn't say that. You know what I did, Bill? I did exactly what you would do. I wished him a Merry Christmas, and I said, thank you for your comment.
Absolutely. And you know what? And, it's like my mother used to say, you attract more flies with honey than with vinegar, and it's very true. And it doesn't kill you to be nice. Okay. And that's what a lot of people are looking for, the opposite. And then you provide exactly what they don't want to hear, but it's the right thing to do. It's absolutely the right thing to do.
Yeah. And the thing is, Bill, the way I always feel sorry for people like that, because can you imagine what it's like living in their head, just ready to pounce on somebody's smallest little defect or whatever, so it's just not worth the time. And the way I look at it, I feel more sorry for them because they're probably have, well, anyway, leave it at that.
Yeah. And the other one that I got was, and this was a real winner here. Okay. Because my last 2 videos before I did the one that's coming up this weekend, I ran the battery down. The one was like 6% and the other one was under 10. And people are saying, oh, you're going to ruin your battery. You're going to shorten your battery's life. That's not a good thing to do. And I'm like, okay, guys, you must be new to my channel because I'll only do that maybe once or twice to these batteries. All right. Because at 20%, guess what? I'm doing hit and return to home.
Bill, the thing is, they're absolutely right. If you did that about, 100 times, you might ruin the battery.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
I got a question from you, and I watched great show last night. Okay. I watched a pretty good part of your show last night, and I covered a little bit earlier, and I wanted to ask you this question. Okay. With the RC Pro, it boggles my mind, and I posted it out there for everybody, and everybody is kind of like the same way. Why did DJI come out now and say, look, we're going to go ahead, we're going to offer a Fly More combo with the RC Pro, all right? And what I did was I reminded people right now, the RC Pro, I ordered mine November 28th. I'm not getting it until December 12th, okay? It's on back order. It's not like, oh, we got, stockpiles of them sitting in a warehouse and we want to sell them left and right kind of thing. Is it to draw more attention to the Mavic 3? Is it, I can't figure this out. And then what they're saying, they're going to compensate people. And Matt Bagwell brought up a great point, okay? They're going to offer you credit for this, all right? So in other words, you have to spend more money in order to be able to save money.
No, listen, I get that, Bill. And that's a great point. I'm not, but you and I spend so much money on DJI's website anyway. I mean, what the hell?
Yeah. Oh, I know. I know. Yeah. See, I use part of my DJI credit until now. I talked to Rick, and Rick told me because I'm interested in getting one of those multiple battery chargers. Okay. And he said they're in development right now. They're not quite ready. So I bought that the charging hub, that charges them in serial, one at a time kind of thing. And I figured it's better to have something there because, I could forget about a second battery and not charging it. And I don't want that kind of stuff, So
I've been
but
keeping
anyway,
my eye out for one too, but I'm glad to hear that Rick is putting something together.
yeah,
And
he
I'll
is.
probably just be patient and wait to buy what Rick puts out. The other thing is, where we're on that subject, you and I both bought the base kit. I wanted a case for it, and I've been using just one of these old camera bags to store it in. But I ordered one of those. PGY had a Black Friday sale, so I ordered one of those PGY cases for it. So I'm looking forward to that. I just got notification that they shipped it today.
Yeah, I've ordered a GPC through B&H Photo, and it's still not available. I sent an email to B&H Photo or to the GPC, and they haven't answered me yet. So I want to find out what's going on because I really like their cases. They do a good job with them. So I'm kind of hanging on for that. But I did it piecemeal. I got real smart this time. I had enough. I had almost $200 in DJI credits. I bought a second battery with that because I figured having two batteries is perfect for this drone. Okay, with the runtime that it gives, I'm fine. And when I go out, it's not like I need to go through three batteries when I'm out there. You know what I'm saying? I get plenty of footage from two batteries.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I did. I had I don't know. I think I had about $150 credit in my DJI account, so I did just exactly what you said. And I ordered. That's what I did. Ordered that second battery. Hey, Bill, I did get to see. I went flying with. I don't know if you remember. She's in the chat in Drone Seekers once in a while. Tanya Gale. Mm-hmm. She lives here locally, and she bought the Cine package. So she had that big, freaking fancy case that comes with that, and she said the same thing. She goes, this thing is beautiful. But she said, I'm never going to use it.
Yeah.
I'm never going to tote that much stuff around in it. I mean, it's a very specific use case device. And why they made a Fly More combo with that is kind of beyond me.
Yeah.
I don't think they thought that through. But to your point as well, with regard to that smart controller, I've got a little bit of the red ass myself because I would have ordered a smart controller package had it been available that night. And I suspect a lot of us would have. Mike Wright and I ordered at the same time, and I know we both probably would have ordered that package had it been available. So it is, I guess, good to hear that they're going to at least come up with some kind of a way to compensate people that already bought the drone earlier. So
yeah, and that's a good thing. Well, the main topic of the evening, and you probably saw the title, it's like in the second, I'm not even going to, it's not even open for debate for the drone of the year, okay? Because I've seen, I think Ray did a survey, Ray or Johnny did a survey. I know Ron's run a survey, and, it's like Richard Dawson used to say on Family Feud, survey says, it's hands down, okay, what the drone of the year is. Okay, the only thing that I'm going to say is what's number two, all right?
I've got it right here, Bill.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Up until a certain point this year, and I'm like, will Fimi take that spot? Will Hubson take that spot? And and I'll tell you what. For me, hands down, this is another slam dunk, okay? It's the Mini 2, all right? Because the Mini 2 does everything you want from a drone in that kind of weight category, okay? You can't beat it.
Freaking love that drone. I mean, love that drone. It is, that Mini 2 is just an incredible piece of technology. And for probably, gosh, 70% of the people out there that that fly drones. The Mini 2 is almost all the drone that they need, right?
Yeah.
And then of course the Air 2S. And that's where I think people are kind of getting a little bit out of shape with the Mavic 3. Really, it's not intended, I don't believe, as that huge mass market type of product like the Air 2S, like the Mini 2. It is a prosumer product. And so it's either for people, and I don't consider myself a prosumer. I consider myself a hardcore drone enthusiast. I'm an enthusiast. Do I need that Mavic 3? Absolutely not. The capabilities of that drone are so far above the kind of things that I do with the drone. It's not even funny. And I'll bet that's similar for you too, Bill. But we want that drone because we want the technology, and we're drone enthusiasts, and so that's why we got it. Now there's the other people that are going to buy it that are the true prosumers that are using it because they do real estate shoots, because they do that kind of work with the drone, or they're like our friend Ron Brown, who is a semi-professional photographer. You and I aren't going to use that camera like it should be. We'll use it, right? We'll get some great video.
Oh, yeah.
But we're not going to do what Ron Brown does with it. We're just not.
Yeah. I mean, Ron does his voodoo, on these sunsets. And that's why I call him the Jedi Master of the Sunsets, because, nobody does a sunset better than Ron. I mean, nobody. Yeah. And he knows the settings. He knows, the time, everything. I mean, he has it down to a science. Okay. And, when when you get to be at the level of Ron Brown, please let me know. Okay. Cause I want to watch your videos.
Let me ask you this, Bill. Do you ever shoot in D-Log or in any of those log files? No. I don't either. Because what do I know about color grading and all that? I mean, I've done it, and I've done a little bit of it, and it's okay, right? But what I love about that camera is that Hasselblad color science is so flipping good. And even a lot of those pros will admit that many times, if they're just in, regular lighting conditions, that Hasselblad color science is as good as what they can do in post-production. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a drone that's for that next level above, and I think that's why it's kind of, I think some people kind of misinterpret what it's all about.
Yeah, I do too, and it was with this year and just kind of thinking about everything that's gone on, and just kind of putting things into perspective. I was really hoping by now. It's December 7th. We're a week into December, and we still haven't seen the Evo Nano yet.
That's a problem for Autel, and it's too bad, because they had another real opportunity to take a big step, and I almost feel like they started taking orders way back in October, and what's the point? Then they you don't even know when the thing's going to show up yet. Now, I'm really excited about particularly that Nano Plus, and it's like every other drone. Once we get it in our hand, we'll forget about the long wait and probably forgive them for that. But it sure seems like they missed out on. They could have gotten a step ahead of some of their competitors had they been able to deliver on their promises.
I think so too, and I think I think for them, I think their issue was probably a combination of supply chain and also production capabilities, because they don't have the production capabilities of a DJI. It's pretty cut and dry as far as that's concerned. But I'm and I'll tell you what, I'm in 100% agreement with you, because my first drone was an X-Star Premium, and I'm kind of partial to Autel, and I would love to see the Nano Plus succeed. And I'm based upon your reviews, be whether or not I'm going to go out and get one, because I think it's a drone that has a lot of capability, a lot of potential. Everything I've seen about it looks really good. I'm just going to be kind of like sitting in the wings, waiting for your videos and watching them. But I want Autel to succeed. We all want Autel to succeed, because for that, it's a win for everybody.
It is. Totally agree.
Because for you and me, and for Ron, and for all of us out there that follow this as close as we do, okay, to see somebody, it kind of like, you kind of laugh when, not a funny laugh, but with Hubsan and their travails this year, okay, and Fimi and their travails this year with mini drones, okay, you kind of laugh, but it's not a ha ha laugh. It's like, oh, come on, guys, you can do better than this. And
I was so disappointed, Bill. I just can't tell you.
I know.
I was, that was the biggest disappointment. That Xeno Mini Pro. They had it. Again, that was an opportunity lost for them. It
really was. I mean, they had it right there in the palm of their hand, and that what they did was, they bit more than they could chew. Okay, and they tried to do too much with that drone. Okay, because is your example with testing the SE? Okay, it's like night and day.
Yeah, it's a better product. They should have come out with that SE first.
Yeah,
and then work their way up. I don't even know what to say. Now they're advertising a Micro Four Thirds drone. Well, it's that is definitely one you'll want to see it before you buy it.
Oh yeah, and with things like this, it's like it's the old fairy tale. It's like the boy crying wolf all the time. Who's going to want to go ahead and buy a Hubsan drone sight unseen? Not as many people now because of what happened. And same with Fimi. Who's going to want to buy, a Fimi drone? And again, I think a lot of this has to do, and you brought up a good point, they should have come out with a Mini SE first. And I think maybe, Fimi should have maybe waited a month or two, done some extensive testing on it, got it out there right instead of rushing it and getting it out there and saying, oops, you guys are really the beta testers or the alpha testers.
Some of the bugs out of it. Yeah. I see it in the chat. Mark Fisher is saying his M3 is going bye-bye tomorrow. He's returning it to DJI for replacement. And, he had a lot of problems with this. So to your point, Bill, a lot of people are making the argument with the Mavic 3, just what you're saying is that, maybe they released it a month too soon. I don't know. Mine's been pretty good and I'm having a ball flying it. So I'm glad I got it. But I absolutely understand when I hear people like Mark Fisher, the experience he had with his, how you could have that kind of an idea.
Mark's a great guy, and I hate, and this is something for me because I know, how much I follow Ken Dono and Original Dobo, and his travails and what he's gone through with it. It's like, okay, we all know Ken is not the gentlest person with drones. Okay, he'll be the first to admit that. But okay, some of the luck that he's had with this it's just. A lot of it's just dumb luck.
Yeah. Now, Bill, I have had, in fact, after he came out with his video and he was talking about the Horizon issue, I got kind of paranoid and I kind of went through a bunch of my old footage to see if I have not had a hint of a tilted
I haven't either.
It's
like I got conditioned to look for that having the X8 SE 2020.
Right.
I mean, it was like, oh, there it is again. Oops. And then you do a return to home and the thing straightened itself out. And it's just like, what happened? I don't know. I don't know. Just, it's just, I think we expected more this year, as far as like the mini drone market is concerned, and we didn't get it except for, I'm going to call, the Hubsan, the Mini SE, kind of, I would say a win for Hubsan. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, especially at that price point. I mean, if it's closer to $300, it's not a bad product. Let me tell you, Bill, I want to be perfectly clear. It still isn't the quality of video that we see on our Mavic minis now, on our DJI minis. It's good. It's okay, but it's not great like we see on our DJI minis. But what Hubsan has done, and I got to give them super credit for, their flight controls, the stability of that drone, It flies great. It's they've really improved that tremendously.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, and I got and I'm going to say this too, okay? And I know I've said this before and plenty of times. Our hat is off to Marcus because he takes these drones equally. He does not discriminate as far as drones are concerned. He brings them in, he looks at them, and he gives you his honest feedback about this. And folks, this is what you want from a drone reviewer. Okay, you want somebody to come in and give you an honest evaluation and really let the work speak for itself. And that's what Marcus does. And and my hat is off to him because he has a lot more patience than I would have with some of these drones. I have a tendency to have the kind of patience that Brian Singleton has and open up the garbage can and put it in there. Okay, that's the kind, that's the kind of thing.
Now Bill, when I shut off the camera, I'm not telling you what comes out of my mouth at that point.
But our hats off to you, Marcus, because a lot of people look at these videos and they're able to make some determinations because a lot of times they can't afford a higher price product, but some of these lower price products that you've tested can be suitable for them in their situation. So again, our kudos are to you for going through this. And it's not, a lot of time it's just not fun.
Hey, seriously, I was joking around about this little drone earlier. It's a MJX MG1. The camera on this little guy is damn good and perfect horizon. Now, I would call the video something like what you would have seen on your cell phone video 8 years ago or so, right? So that kind of give you a frame of mind, but it has a good stable horizon. Little bit of a fisheye effect, very small amount of that, but no jello, no jiggles. Now, where that thing falls down is the flight controls on it were horrible. You felt like you were hurting it as much as flying it, and the range was horrible on it. But here's the thing: it's a $200 drone, and to your point, there are people that $200 is about all they can come up with. In fact, they're stretching it. Mm-hmm. They want a drone real bad, and they're stretching it to come up with $200 to buy a drone. I'm saying that's a good option for somebody like that. At least they'll get some nice video instead of just a jiggly jello-filled mess. And no, will they be able to fly at a mile? No. Will they be able to do precise maneuvers with it? No. But it does fly, and it does, takes pretty good video.
And and that's a great way to start. And that's a lot of times especially for teens. The old adage is when you get your first car, you don't want to be driving mom and dad's new car. You're going to get a hand-me-down kind of a thing. And I know both you and I went through that kind of stuff. And right. You learn on an older car and you learn to deal with it, and then you progress. And that's the kind of thing here. You learn on a less than a Corvette, more like a Chevette, so to speak, and then you work your way up to a better drone.
Yeah. Now, what's thrown the monkey wrench in all of that, though, Bill? And now is that DJI Mini SE at $299.
Yeah.
And I just tell anybody, if you can stretch it, I know $200 is a lot, but if you can get to that $299, you get that Mini SE. You have a real drone then with real capability.
Well, and I got to say this, and this is something, a lot of people don't really kind of look at this, but I look at it, when I had my Mini SE, and I did my unboxing on it, I'm like, this is boxed like a Air 2S or a Mavic 3, everything that DJI includes in drones like that, so to speak. It's the same thing here. They don't skimp here. Their boxing is done very well. I mean, it's packed in there very well, so it doesn't get damaged. They give you the instructions, little booklets and everything in there. So, it's a little thing, but I think it's a lot too.
Yeah, I just was looking at a comment here. The Dudleys just made a comment about a refurbished used Parrot Bebop or Spark, which I think that's valid. In fact, you can, every once in a while you can catch that Anafi real cheap. I think I paid $239 for a refurbished Anafi, which is a tremendous drone with tremendous capabilities. So that's really a good point. If somebody's willing to shop around, they can find those kind of deals. And the Bebop 2 is a great drone as well. So
see, there's a lot of good ones out there. So, I'm still going to go with the Mini 2 is the second drone of the year. I mean, it really,
well, of course it came out in 2020. So, I mean,
it was about a year ago it came out. It was in November 2020 it came out.
Yeah.
So, it's still, for me, it's kind of like, it's still the undisputed heavyweight champion kind of thing, So, but we'll see, because people are talking already about a Mini 3 coming out sometime next year from DJI. And, and you got to say this, say what you will about DJI and Frank Wang. He doesn't look in the rearview mirror. Okay. He's always looking forward.
He's always looking forward.
Looking to make hay with that. I just want to mention again. Okay. Next week. Okay. Going to have a very special show next week, because it's a rebroadcast of my 50th episode from last year. And we talk about the best mini drones of 2020. So that's going to be a good thing. And what I did was I actually set it up on StreamYard. You can actually put a pre-recorded broadcast out on StreamYard, and it will start it at your date and time. So it's going to appear, and you'll be able to chat on the live stream and everything. But, while you guys are doing that, I'm going to be enjoying a certain 2-year-old and reading her "'Twas the Night Before Christmas," probably at that point in time in the evening. So that's going to be a lot of fun for Valerie and I. So
that'll be great, Bill. Congratulations. That's going to be fun.
Thank you.
It's all about family.
It is, and it's our Christmas. I told Valerie, I said, anything under the tree pales in comparison with being able to spend time with her and my daughter and my son-in-law. So. It's just that's what it is. It is family, and it's what it's all about. Any closing thoughts for tonight, Marcus?
Yeah, listen, we've had actually a pretty mild winter so far, and so I've been lucky to be able to get out and fly some. My weather moving forward, it looks like storm after storm after storm. So I don't know how much flying I'm going to get in, but I'm just telling you, if you can get out there, fly your drone and have some fun. And to your point, waiting for that Autel or, Nano or whatever, fly what you got and enjoy it, because, there's, you could be flying a 5 or 6 year old Mavic Pro and get some tremendous video off of it. So
absolutely. I agree. 100%.
Fly what you got and have fun.
Get out there, enjoy yourself, have fun. And I got to say this, Marcus, I've kind of given everybody a preview. I actually flew for the first time from my yard the other day and caught a great sunset. And I will say this, that the low light capabilities of the Mavic 3 rival those of the Mavic 2 Pro. Okay. I was unduly impressed with that.
Good deal. Now, did you make some kind of a deal with your condo owners association?
No, what I did was, listen to this, because they're doing new construction in our area. I took off from my side yard. My side yard is huge. And then I took a diagonal, and the diagonal flew over nothing but vacant property. So I didn't fly over anybody's property.
So you didn't have to, so they couldn't say a thing.
They can't say a word to me.
Yeah.
And then what I did was I actually got, for the first time, because Valerie said, "Can you get a shot of our house?" So I kind of backed my drone up a little bit back there, and I got a nice shot of the back.
Plus with Zoom, you could have been way off and got a.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
I know. Oh, another thing, and I wanted to kind of close with this. When I took off, I got an aircraft warning, from the Mavic 3, and I heard a little plane off in the distance. Okay, it was pretty far away, but I knew where it was. But it came up with an aircraft warning, so that does work. That's nice to know.
Yeah, it's pretty handy. I had that the other day too, and I mean, what I like is that it gives you that icon. It tells you the altitude of the aircraft, and I'm trying to remember all the data that it gives you on there, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was impressed. I was really impressed. It's come a long way since when it first came out. So DJI gets a tip of the hat from me on this one. Okay, everyone. Well, enjoy yourselves, fly what you got. If you got the good weather, get out there and enjoy yourself. Keep your eye out for sales. There's a lot of good sales going on right now. Keep your nose to the ground as far as that's concerned. Don't forget to keep entering the contest on DJI's website because they're giving away the grand prize is a Mavic 3 Cine Edition. So make sure you keep getting your name in for that. And that's what I have for now. Hope you guys enjoy the rebroadcast from next week. I know I watched part of it and it was great. Hope you guys do too. Anyways, have a great week, guys. And it's a great day to fly. Take care.
Good night, everybody.